status of the USL FIFA World Cup and Midseason Awards. Welcome to All Talk, All USL Talk, USL Cup of scores, news, and developments in the second highest division of the United States men's professional soccer system, the USL Championship. I am your host, as always, Vince Galvano. Happy Monday, June 29, as we close on the month of June in the midst of the 2026 World Cup and lead the way into Independence Day weekend, into the knockout rounds, which have commenced last night with Canada taking down South Africa. All things World Cup we'll talk about to kick things off, in particular the status of the USL FIFA World Cup. What is the USL FIFA World Cup? Well, just essentially we're current USL players and staff and how they're performing. Unfortunately, for all players, it has come to an end. The group stage was the closing point. None of the teams that we were cheering for, with players that is, made it. I'm talking Curacao, I'm talking Haiti. So we'll talk those teams, talk about Ghana, of course, and then we'll get into what is a mid-season break. Not too many games to talk about, only 3, Charleston, Loudoun, Miami, Orange County. And then we have Colorado and San Antonio. But we have some mid-season awards that has been put out. You can still cast your vote on that until 12 p.m. Eastern Time today. I am recording this on a Monday. Couldn't record this weekend because I was doing a golf basic license course over here in Europe. So I was busy back-to-back days getting my John Daly on. So definitely sore from that, but that took up a lot of my time. So it's actually good that it coincided with the Midseason Awards and the Midseason break. We also have what's very interesting, numbers, defining number, I should say, by each team. That was something that was cool that was put out on USLChampionship.com. Obviously, Nicholas Murray contributing to that. I won't go into every single team. I think what we'll do is I will give you the teams that have played this weekend, and then next week when we're back into more action, I'll give you the numbers of each of those teams as we, review their games that have transpired over the weekend. So lots to get into, even in what was a weekend that didn't have too many matches. Nonetheless, you know where to find me. Always, everywhere at Talk USL on social platforms, Talk USL on everywhere podcasts are streaming. You can always write me an email, talkuslchampionship@gmail.com. And always, if you haven't done so already, give it a review and spread the word on the podcast as we approach episode 100. It is episode 95 of Talk USL, 3 years into it. So it's just, we got to keep on going, baby. That's what we got to do. All right, let's get into what was the status at the moment. So Curacao had lost their last game, even after drawing Ecuador. The amazing performance of Eloy Roon, a little checkmate to Vosinha of Cape Verde with his amazing 15-save performance. Talked about that last time. Unfortunately, though, they lose to Cote d'Ivoire, and they're out of the tournament. So there goes Eloy Roon from Miami FC. He'll return now, and then you also have Jurgen Locadia. But Eloy Roon, what a World Cup. Curacao, what a World Cup as well. For Locadia's standpoint, he only got one shot in over the course of 3 games. Started every match for Curacao. The shot came in, it was blocked in the match against Ecuador. But otherwise, defensive had to do a lot with what would transpire in that match against Ecuador as well as Cote d'Ivoire for sure. So congrats to him. Unfortunately, from the Haiti side, we were on the lookout. Can anyone from Haiti get some minutes in this tournament? In particular, looking at a couple of the players from Haiti, Duke Lacroix and Garvin Metusala from Colorado Springs. We also had Carl Sante from El Paso. Unfortunately, though, none of them made an appearance at the FIFA World Cup. Nonetheless, they obviously were part of that roster for Haiti, making history in the tournament, and the fact that they got on the board. 2 goals against Morocco in the last game, even led Morocco, scoring first in the 10th minute. Was a really good back and forth game, and one that, had they made it into halftime 2-1 over the African defending champions, that would have been something certainly to brag about. But nonetheless, 2-2 at halftime for them. And Morocco pulled it back late with a 78th minute goal and 89th minute goal. Great job from Haiti. Great job to Haiti and Curacao, I have to say, because they got on the board. They competed for sure. Only one team in this tournament has not scored any goals, and that's Panama, just an FYI. Last time around the 2022 FIFA World Cup, it was Qatar. So Panama was the only team out of any team in the World Cup so far this campaign to not have scored. But look at the progress that was made for 8 years over Panama. Just a shout out to them. They had lost 6-1 to England, and they changed it and turned it around to lose 2-0 this time around. That's progress, whether you like it or not. And they kept every game close. I think only conceding 4 goals. If I go back to my stats here that I have up, only 4 goals they conceded, which is just talk about progress. You talk about what 8 years can do when you capture the hearts of your country, participating in the competition for the first time back in Russia in 2018, and now take a look at Panama on what they achieved, just keeping it close in every game. As well there. So there you have it. But the big one, I'd say, performance-wise, besides the other room, has been Dan Gaspar, the Hartford Athletic goalkeeping coach that was, toggled on for the Ghana coaching staff by Carlo Queiroz. And he has done a tremendous job with the goalkeepers. The second-string goalkeeper, Benjamin Asari, getting the clean sheet against England, believe it or not, in what was a tremendous defensive display from Ghana in that matchup. They lose to Croatia last time around, but they make it through on goal difference, which is what you love to see. Congrats to them for that. 4 points, which is very important. That was really the magic number, 4 points. I thought really teams with 3 points would get through, but it was only one, and that was Senegal, thanks to the fact that they beat Iraq 5-0. So that's World Cup talk. Last but not least, you just have to look at Ghana and say, hey, we got to cheer them on because they still got a little bit of that USL rub. But even USL rub from home base camps, USA, that started in Orange County. In Irvine, you had Cape Verde. As well, you had Australia in Oakland, Cape Verde in Tampa. That's where they started with their base camps, and all those teams are still in the competition. So it's that USL rub. I'm telling you guys, it is that USL rub, and we look forward to the knockouts as well. Big one with USA taking on Bosnia in 2 days' time, so it'll be very, very fun. For Cape Verde's side, they take on Argentina. Australia will take on Egypt. So all these games and more for the FIFA World Cup. I just want to leave it at that, and we will get into the mid-season rewards for the USL Championship. Back to getting into the campaign, we have Goalkeeper of the Year, Defender of the Year so far, Mid-Season Coach of the Year, Young Player of the Year, and Player of the Year as well. So let's start with the Player of the Year. 4 candidates at the moment. We have a Phoenix Rising, Detroit City, Rhode Island, and Oakland player in this. Isan Sako, Phoenix Rising FC, the French forward, tied for the league lead with 12 goal contributions, recording 9 goals and 3 assists at a strike rate of a goal every 124.7 minutes. He is the lone player in the league with more than 30 shots and 30 chances created, and leads the league's outfield players with a +5 goals added mark, which is what you really love to see. He's been on fire at the moment for Phoenix. That's Isan Sako. Darren Smith for Detroit City, of course. The South African forward has a league leading 11 goals after equalizing a league single game record with a 5-goal game, if you recall that. He's averaged a goal every 97.1 minutes, while recording 27 shots overall. J.J. Williams, the Rhode Island player, has starred big time in Rhode Island's attack, recording 6 goals, 4 assists in approximately 900 minutes for a goal contribution every 90 minutes approximately, while recording a league-high 41 shots, 17 chances created. 28-year-old also ranks 8th in the league with 78 duels, winning it just over 50%. With a +3.74 goals added mark overall. Peter Wilson, 2025 Golden Boot winner, of course, has come into form after a slow start to the season, recording 9 goals, 1 assist in approximately 1,100 minutes for a strike rate of every goal every 120 minutes. Wilson has recorded 34 shots, 9 chances created, with a +4.2 goals added mark. I should say that Nicholas Murray was the one that was choosing Peter Wilson. The fact that the Liberian International claiming the Golden Boot last season, he's kind of picking up where he left off in contention while leading Roots to a top 3 position at the moment in the Western Conference. For me, I'm going to go with Isan Sako for Phoenix Rising FC. The guy has been unstoppable in my eyes, a joy to watch, a danger every time he receives the ball and goes forward. So he was my casted vote there. I think it's unanimous for Young Player of the Year. There's really, one name that really captures the eyes and has been capturing the headlines, and that has been Colton Swan for Charleston Battery, the United States U20 International, recording 7 goals and 2 assists in 700 minutes in the USL Championship. It's interesting. It's like Charleston Battery, it doesn't matter what happens. If Marcanic leads, MD Myers picks up, MD Myers leaves, and Colton Swan picks up. It's like always like a carousel, and the player that picks up the baton, so to speak, just has a great season. But this 19-year-old is kicking butt big time. Also winning 7 out of 7 tackles defensively as part of Battery's league-leading attack. Scored in the midweek over here as well. We should mention a couple other players, I think, under the radar, which is Dmitry Arafeev, the Russian playmaker for San Antonio. He's broken out in his second season with San Antonio, recording 5 goals and 1 assist. For the Western Conference contender, he has recorded 22 shots, 8 chances created overall. So he's been certainly a bright spot in San Antonio's campaign. San Antonio just getting the win over Colorado as well this past week. Brandon Days for Louisville City, the 17-year-old academy product, has been a regular in the back line this season. Leads all young player eligible players with 13 interceptions. He ranks second with 55 duels, won at approximately 57% success rate, as well as completing a passing rate of, accuracy-wise, 87% approximately. So a mainstay guy for 17 years old. That's tremendous to see. And we also have a Brooklyn player on there, CJ Only, joining the first year side on loan from the Union, Philadelphia Union, that is. He's tied for third in league with regards to 4 assists. Also contributed a goal for Brooklyn FC as well. The 19-year-old recorded 17 shots, 22 chances created this season while ranking 5th among young player eligible players with 48 recoveries. But for me there, it's going to be Colton Swan. I think he's just, in terms of grabbing the headlines, being the standout player when it comes to young players. Nonetheless, all of them doing a great job. It's really, you could just pick flavor of ice cream at this point. Mid-season, we'll do Defender of the Year, and then we'll do Goalkeeper of the Year, and then we'll do the Coach of the Year mid-season so far. For Defender of the Year, 4 players: Oakland Roots, Detroit, Tampa, and Hartford. From Oakland side of things, Michael Edwards, 25-year-old, is becoming a key addition to the back line this season. He ranks 4th among defenders in completing 687 passes, which is great. I mean, recorded 56 clearances, 47 recoveries to grade out league best, plus 3.19 goals added among center backs, which is quite solid. Nathan DeSantos from Tampa Bay Rowdies. He's been certainly a big player so far. I mean, both in their top line numbers, 8 shutouts, 8 goals conceded in 14 games for Tampa. And, that switch over from Charleston to Tampa has certainly benefited him, and he's playing as it because Tampa are the side to beat with their undefeated streak, which was the longest so far this season, and he's obviously played a huge part in that. Adrian Dispay for Hartford Athletic, the Cuban center back, has been a sterling all-around presence in the back line, ranking 2nd among defenders across 3 categories. That's duels, aerial duels, and recoveries. 90 duels, 51 aerial duels, and 56 recoveries to help Hartford concede only 10 goals in its first 12 games. The last one, Haruki Yamazaki for Detroit. In his second season, he leads all defenders with 109 duels, won at 62.6% of the time, 25 tackles won as well. The Japanese fullback also recorded 56 recoveries and 17 interceptions, or recording 6 chances created and 2 big chances created as well. Really nice in the ball too. I like him a lot. And for me, it is Haruki Yamazaki for Detroit. I always enjoy watching him play whenever I get a chance to watch him play. He had that beautiful L-turn. I forget in the game that he had that led to one of the goal contributions. And just a solid presence over out. It's really hard to attack the right side. The right side defending-wise, I should say attacking left side of Detroit, because he's been a tremendous presence on that flank. But for Nicholas Murray, he chose Nathan DeSantos. I think a lot of people would choose Nathan DeSantos there. Goalkeeper of the year so far, Joey Petruni for San Antonio, Chris Shakes for New Mexico, Anthony Siaha for Hartford, and Jamali Waite for Tampa Bay Rowdies. Jamali Waite, the Jamaican international, leads the Golden Glove qualified goalkeepers with a save percentage of approximately 81%. 6 shutouts, allowing only 6 goals for the Players' Shield winners. Huge part of the Tampa Bay Rowdies' success this season. Don't forget Anthony Sia. We talk teams kind of overlap a little bit when you had Dispay. Now you have, obviously, Siaha. Cameroonian has recorded a league-leading 7 shutouts so far, only allowing 10 goals. As mentioned, Chris Shakes for New Mexico, third-year pro, tied for second in the league with 37 saves. Save percentage of just over 77%, logging 4 shutouts so far. And then Joey Petruni for San Antonio, the homegrown product, recording 37 saves as well, tying Chris Shakes there. Save percentage of 74%, 4 shutouts as well. Similar to Chris Shakes a lot. Have your choice, but I think Anthony Sia, we can say. We could also kind of shout that out a little bit to the success of the coaching staff of Dan Gaspar, who's currently coaching the Black Stars Ghana team right now in the goalkeeping side of things. So that's really important to see. And coach of the year, is going to 4 contenders: Dominic Cachado of Tampa Bay Rowdies, Danny Dichio of Detroit, Ben Pierman of Charleston, and Danny Stone of Orange County Soccer Club. I think what you can say here for Danny Stone is that he's only lost twice in the league this season, taking 7 wins to post a 1.86 points per game mark, which is solid. Ben Pierman, after an offseason overhaul of the club's attack, Battery lead the championship with 30 goals this season, putting together an 8-4-2 record when this article was published midweek. Danny Dichio for Detroit, 3rd season with Le Rouge. He's been outstanding at home, Keyworth, set the top 3 of the Eastern Conference while ranking 2nd league with 11.79 expected goals against mark, with the side also ranking tied for 5th in the league with 13 goals against. Dominic Cachado, though, for Tampa Bay Rowdies, only losing once across all competitions. They rank 2nd in the league for expected goals, approximately 24, and 1st in expected goals against, 9.7. Dominic Cachado is, without a doubt, I think, leading there and should probably win that. But it's been a great start for all those coaches for their respective sides. At the moment, Danny Stone is leading the mid-season coach of the year. I do notice and have noticed these past 3 years covering the league that Orange County fans are always in full throttle when it comes to voting for their respective players. So that is how things are when we look at the mid-season awards at the moment. Don't forget that polling closes on today at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So you can go to the USLChampionship.com and just vote right there. You can see it under the news tab and so forth. Goal of the week last time, and then we'll get into the 3 games that taken place this past weekend. And obviously preview for what's that. Goal of the week, 4 contenders, 4 beautiful goals I should mention. Peter Wilson, that was awesome to see against Birmingham on June 17th. He played hero for Oakland on a bouncing corner kick. He just fell to his back while firing a shot, coming over it on a half volley really nicely. It wasn't that much power, but it was just good accuracy, and in traffic, nothing the Birmingham keeper could do about that. So that was a really nice goal. But Abdelatif Abukara, the Egyptian 21-year-old, who's back in form at the moment for Loudoun, back in the action, past the hour mark in a scoreless match. He takes his space in the center of the field, dribbles, does a little half step over, and then just hits a nice curling shot that bounces past the goalkeeper of Birmingham on June 20th. And then you also have Sebastian Tregarthen in the game against Loudoun, a little more than 20 minutes after Abukara's highlight reel goal. He netted the equalizer. The former Asheville City SC player standout dance past 2 defenders, floated a left-footed shot at the back of the net. I really like that goal too. And then you also had New Mexico's Dayon Harris against Sacramento on June 20th with the opposing goalkeeper way outside his net halfway. I think it was the Vidiella, right? Harris gets the through ball and he hits it first time. Good recognition from the striker there for New Mexico. But Abdelatif Abukara walking away with this one, 60% of the vote for Week 16's USL Championship goal of the week. Let's talk Loudoun and Charleston. A lot more focus on Charleston. They were shouted out in the Rondo. So we'll talk about the number of the season right now for Loudoun, because we talk about these defining numbers, talk about the game summary, and then we'll get into what's going on right now at Charleston because they definitely deserve more airtime and discuss what they've been really improving on. For Loudoun, the number is 72. By the way, they have allowed 72 shots on target this season, the second most in the USL Championship at the mid-season break. So there's been a regression for Loudoun so far this season. After its first trip to the postseason, with key problem point for the side coming in the defensive end, that's 72 shots faced on target. I mean, the club's shot stoppers have been facing an average of 5.5 shots on target per game through the opening 13 games of the season, putting a lot of pressure on the goalkeepers for Loudoun. Adam Butry holding up relatively well, posting a save percentage of 70%, but Ethan Bondre has posted a save percentage of 54% on a high volume of high-quality chances. If United's going to make a run in the second half of the regular season, it's going to have to tighten up at the back. And this doesn't happen here in the midweek matchup on Wednesday, June 24th. Charleston and Loudoun both had some early openings while Loudoun were on the road at Charleston. Patriots point. The visitors nearly landed the first punch to the 6th minute when Christian Torres had a look at an open net inside the box, but Nathan Messard recovered brilliantly to block the chance to keep the game level. From there, Charleston started to settle into the match. 14th minute, the Battery's attacking rhythm clicked. Emilio Icaza combined with Miguel Berry inside the penalty area and cut the ball back from Leek Foster, who finished first time to put Charleston in front in the 14th minute. Battery nearly added another shot after Joey Akpononu rattled the crossbar from distance, then had another chance to clear it off the line from a corner. Loudoun survived these moments, but Charleston kept pushing forward, found a second before halftime. In the 41st minute, Icaza fed Colton Swan, who was May's Player of the Month, as well as contender right now for Midseason Young Player of the Year. Near the top left edge of the box, Swan curled a beautiful finish into the top right corner. Luis Amidio also did his part on the other end, making 3 first-half saves to send Charleston to the break. Well in control of this match, 2-0. And then the second half started with Charleston back on the front foot, and the 51st minute after Graham Smith was brought down in the box by Luca Piras. Icaza stepped up, converted with confidence. Loudoun did pull one back in the 81st when Piras struck from distance for his first professional goal. Congratulations. But Charleston answered almost immediately. 5 minutes later, Jeremy Kelly pounced on a poor defensive header from Akinyonde, drove into the box, sealed the fate for this one. 3 points for Charleston in a 4-1 victory. Their attack keeps rolling, we should say. Their late scoring trend continues with Jeremy Kelly's 86-minute goal, adding to the Battery's league best production in the final 15 minutes. Colton Swan has now, got 10 goals across all competitions, 7 in league play, which is really solid. He also has recorded a goal contribution in 5 straight games, so he's just still heating up. Luis Zamudio, facing his former club, he made 3 first-half saves, helped Charleston stay ahead of Loudoun's early push. Ben Pierman talked about the man-to-man press from Loudoun causing problems, especially with Abukura creating danger, but Charleston had good play between the lines in this one, and rightfully so. They improved to 11 wins, 1 loss, and 4 draws all time against Loudoun. Current unbeaten run against Loudoun sits at 14 games, and they moved to second in the East with 8 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws. From Loudoun's side of things, Piras scored his first professional goal, made up for conceding, I should say, the penalty with his challenge. Richard Amon had the assist for Loudoun, but still warning signs at the moment for Loudoun United FC. We talked about those 72 shots on target this season, but they come up against a difficult Charleston side, and the attack is back. Maybe better balance. This is the temperature check right now. Nicholas Murray had a great one big thing on this in the Rondo, the official USL newsletter. This was the most prolific attack in the USL Championship last season. They lost a huge chunk of that production. Players who accounted for 85% of 2025's regular season goals had to be replaced, and that included big names like Cal Jennings, MD Myers. But after the 4-1 win over Loudoun, they've now scored 14 goals in the last 3 league games, and that's not just a hot streak. We're talking finding rhythm, confidence, chemistry all at once. And Colton Swan, still only 19, leads the team with 7 goals and is giving Charleston real star boy energy. Malik Foster has 5. Kaza has 4. 7 players have multiple goals. 16 players having at least 1 goal contribution through 14 games. It's tough to defend. Goals can come from everywhere. Moray also noted that Charleston now leads the league in goals, expected goals, shots on target, and shooting accuracy. So those are the 4 hot categories you want to lead when it comes to really becoming efficient in the final third of things. So the home form also, you can mention, Charleston are now unbeaten in their last 21 regular season home games, going 18 wins, no losses, 3 draws. So with Tampa Bay still looking like Player Shield's frontrunner, Charleston very much back in that conversation, as Nicholas Murray of the Rondo there, focusing a little bit on Charleston. Miami's numbers so far this season, 8.5, while sitting in 8th and final playoff place at the moment. Miami's negative 8.5 expected goal differential shines a light on how many chances the side has given up defensively this campaign. So they have also allowed the second most shots in the league at 207 this campaign. While it's been committing, to denying efforts, finding the target, Miami has a league-high 66 block shots and 67 shots on target faced. Not as much as Loudon, but not too far behind. So the sheer volume, hard to ignore. So even when Eloy Room returns from World Cup duty, Miami's going to need to find a better defensive balance to keep its playoff chances intact. That is for sure. Let's talk about this game that happened on Wednesday night as well. Miami hosting Orange County. They got the early reward at Pitbull Stadium, striking the 14th minute as well from Rion Torres' attempted cross from left side, deflecting kindly into the path of Malaysia. Malaysia reacted quickly, finished from close range, put the hosts in front. Orange County stayed composed. Finally found the response just before halftime. Jameer Johnson in the 44th minute delivered a nice cross into the penalty area. Bazzini slid into the top of the 6-yard box to guide home the equalizer. That goal changed the tone heading into the break. OC came at halftime looking like the Western Conference leader. 55th minute, Johnson played Ben Alcazar into space in the overlap. Ben Alcazar centered for Kelly, who finished from 8 yards to give OC the lead. 5 minutes later, OC strike again. Ben Alcazar finds Bazzini in the center of the box, and Bazzini clipped home his second goal of the night to make it 3-1. Miami gave itself a lifeline in the 82nd minute when Dungo headed across from Melo, but the late push left space behind. In stoppage time, Usman Silla broke down a nice 2-on-1 and unselfishly squared the ball for Solis, who finished it into an open net for his first professional goal. That's Efren Solis. Still a 4-2 win. Orange County absorbs the early punch and shows why it's top of the West. Jameer Johnson, Nico Benalcazar were central to the comeback for sure. Benalcazar was, standout two-way performance. We could say 2 assists, 3 chances created, 30 out of 38 passes completed, 10 clearances, and 7 recoveries defensively. He was the player of the match, named from USL Championship.com. Malaysia looked good for Miami, giving the early lead with the composed first-time finish. And the 18-year-old Efren Solis, we should mention for OC, with a milestone moment in stoppage time, his first professional goal. Congratulations to him. Winless streak extended to 3 matches in the moment for Miami FC. They lost for the first time this season after scoring the opening goal. From Orange County's side of things, they maintained its lead top of the Western Conference. They've now earned 8 points from losing positions this season, second only to Louisville City. The magic number mentioned here is 4.5 for Danny Stone's side. It's no great secret as to how OC is aiming to find success this season. It's one of the most compact defensively seeds, but here it is, Orange County averaging 4.5 passes in the final third per touch in the penalty area, also ranking last in the league with 1,074 passes in the attack there, but sitting 7th in the league with 20.4 expected goals mark, an average of 1.46 per game, while taking 61% of its shots inside the penalty area. There's a reliance on the back line holding up the end of the deal, so that's important. Goalkeeper Alex Rando has been quite solid, but yeah, there it is. Averages 4.5 passes in the final third per touch in the penalty area for the key magic numbers so far for Orange County. Colorado and San Antonio, last game to talk about, and the numbers for each of these sides, 33.9 for Colorado. We're talking the switchbacks below the playoff line. Well, it's the finishing. Colorado Springs ranks last in the league with 33.9% shooting accuracy rate. Under new head coach Alan McCann, there's plenty to commend about the switchbacks, though. They're outshooting opponents by 60 shots, and they have also a plus 6.4 expected goal differential. But it's killer instinct that is lacking in front of the goal, combined with the inability to deny key moments defensively. Side is 4th in the league with 10 points dropped from winning positions. San Antonio, the number is 7. That is the number. In the age of analytics, we have much more data to draw on in terms of where goals come from, the value of creating high-value opportunities inside the penalty area. There's still nothing like seeing a team that's perfectly prepared to let it rip from all over. And that is at least partially what's describing San Antonio this season, which has recorded a league-high 7 goals from outside the penalty area, sitting tied second in the league with 77 of its 166 shots, 46% coming from long range. Center back Alex Crognali is second in the league in that category with 3 goals from outside the box as well. So there you have it, 7 goals from outside the box for San Antonio. This one at Widener Field on Wednesday night, Colorado Springs got the early jolt after Hanya was brought down in the box by O'Connor Ward. In the 15th minute, every game this past midweek, goals happened in the 15th minute. Corey Bennett stepped up to the spot, although Joey Petruni saved the initial penalty. The rebound came straight back to Bennett, who tapped it home to give the switchbacks to the league. The visitors worked their way back into the game, finding the equalizer before the half-hour mark. Jorge Hernandez, of course, slipping a pass into the box for the youngster Dmitry Arafeev. The Russian swept a one-touch finish into the bottom right corner for his 5th league goal of the season. Switchback still controlled stretches of the match, would go on to outshoot San Antonio, but San Antonio stayed dangerous in the right moments, the winner arriving in the 70th minute. Once again, Hernandez was the creator. His corner kick was, from the left, found Alex Crognali, who powered a downward header through the traffic into the net. And there you have it, San Antonio holding on for a 2-1 win, showing its road grit. Jorge Hernandez was the match winner without scoring, assisting both San Antonio's goals. We should mention from his side of things that Jorge Hernandez had a big milestone. He recorded his 40th and 41st regular season assist in the championship. He became the 10th player in league history to reach 40 regular season assists, moves into 9th place all-time in league assists, so posting his 6th multi-assist performance for San Antonio. I mean, what a solid guy he has been for that side. I mean, if you are a San Antonio fan, I'm sure you already have a Jorge Hernandez jersey because he's just a man over there. And then we should also mention Dmitry Arafeev calling it, a huge away win heading into the break. Credit his teammates for helping him continue his strong run of goal contributions. 5th of the season we talked about, and the youngsters just making headlines as well for San Antonio. And there you have it. Those were the matches this past week. We'll talk a little bit of the league table and preview for what's ahead. A little bit of a shorter episode. Eastern side of things, Tampa Bay still at the top of 31 points. Right behind them, though, now is Charleston with 26 points, so just 5 points behind Eastern Conference leaders. Detroit City in 3rd, tied with Louisville with 21 points, although they have a game in hand over Louisville. 5th place goes to Pittsburgh with 20 points. 2 points behind them in 6th is Hartford, tied with Indy, who are 7th at the moment. Indy 11 have only 11 matches played, similar to Rhode Island, we should mention, the least out of any team at the moment in the USL Championship. Miami sitting in that playoff line at 17 points. That's the magic number in the Eastern Conference. Rhode Island, 9th place, 15 points. 10th place, Birmingham, 13 points. 11th place, Loudoun, 10 points. 12th place, Brooklyn with 9 points. And then last place in the Eastern Conference, still without a win, Sporting Jacks. Western Conference, Orange County with their win over Miami go to the top of the Western Conference. 7 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses, putting them at 26 points after 14 matches played. San Antonio is sitting behind them 2 points, so 24 points in 2nd place. Oakland Roots, 21 points in 3rd place. FC Tulsa, 19 points in 4th place. New Mexico in 5th place with 18 points. They have only 12 matches played. It's the least out of any team in the Western Conference. But they are tied in terms of matches played with Sacramento and Lexington. So they find themselves only 1 point behind FC Tulsa, who are in 4th. 6th place goes to Phoenix Rising with 17 points. And then a lot of teams on 16, tied for 7th, Colorado, El Paso, and Sacramento. Then you have Las Vegas in 10th, tied on 15 points with Lexington. Bottom of the Western Conference is Monterey Bay, although they have, 4 wins in their last 5 league campaign, which is important to note. And you're only sitting 2 points away from the playoff cutoff line. Top scorers at the moment, Darren Smith with 11, Peter Wilson, Isan Sako tied with 9. Top assist goes to Wolfgang Prentice. So there you have it in terms of what's going on in the league. Next up, while Independence Day is around the corner, we still have some midweek matches. Really only one, I should say, but we also have a match on Friday. Thursday, July 2nd, Birmingham Legion taking on Detroit at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, Loudoun United versus Sporting Jacks. A very important game for both those sides because they sit in the bottom 3 slots for the Eastern Conference. Could be the chance for Sporting Jacks to finally get something and get their first win in the regular season. Saturday, July 4th, Independence Day. Lots going on amidst barbecuing and singing Born in the USA from Bruce Springsteen. But here you go, Saturday, July 4th, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. You'll have Indy 11 hosting Charleston, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting Lexington, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, Pittsburgh will host Brooklyn. And then you also have a 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Rhode Island hosting Orange County. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Louisville host Hartford. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, FC Tulsa host Sacramento on July 4th. Then at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, 2 games taking place. San Antonio hosting Monterey Bay, Colorado hosting Phoenix. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, New Mexico host Oakland Roots. And at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, Las Vegas hosts El Paso. That is Saturday, July 4th. Lots going on, a lot of games. 10 games taking place on that day. Then you have Sunday, July 5th, Birmingham back in action, visiting Miami, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. That'll be on Sunday, July 5th, Miami hosting Birmingham. And there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go Team USA. Let's go Ghana. We have to cheer on Dan Gaspar. And it's going to be very interesting when we have the Messi Vizinha for the World Cup. Keep on enjoying. Keep the vibes high. Stay cool as well. And we'll talk next time on Talk USL. All the best.